just got off the Zoom with Natasha Cloud, and she sort of went off the same way you two went off last week on the hate that everyone's trying to get the league to kind of spew toward Caitlin, but toward the parity that's going on, the competitiveness that we're seeing among the teams, top to bottom, the competitive play, and trying to change this narrative. And Tosh just kind of went off, and I'm
What's good, guys? All right, I'm trying to show this video of Becky Hammon, who continuously can't keep her name out her foot out her mouth. In this process, we're gonna talk a little bit about two things: the Caitlin Clark effect, and plus the viewership. Some comments made by Becky Hammon after they win over the I think the Minnesota Lynx the other night. Plus, we're going to talk about some other comments that I think what Swin made about people hating on her. But I do have a reclip of what LeBron James saying, and one from Acho, Emmanuel off of Fox FS1. Now, before I show you this clip, it's like I feel like at this point in time, people are just not understanding the level of idiocracy that's going on in the WNBA. While the WNBA has probably had the most viewerships, the most tune-ins that they ever had, and they continue to seem like they have to put their foot in their mouth. And it's all because of one person. It's about Caitlin Clark. Now they can sit here and say, well, hey, Caitlin Clark they try to minimize her impact of the game. That's why I say it like that. They're trying to minimize her impact of the game. Trying to say that, well, yeah, she's part of it, but it's not because of her. Oh, well, all of this has been in the works for a long, long time. Now it's there. But you got to think, you had the likes of Candace Parker in the league that just recently retired. She won a WNBA title with the Chicago Sky. Then she turned around and won a title last year with the Las Vegas Aces, because guess what? She was the most dominant player in the league. Then you have the likes of Brittany Griner. We already know her story. She was supposed to be the next big thing. Didn't turn out that way. You had Diamond Taurasi, UConn sensation, came into the league, which I was a huge Diamond Taurasi fan. No lie. I feel like she had that Kobe mentality. She played like that. But then she was supposed to be next big thing. Didn't happen. Breanna Stewart, another UConn alum, you know what I'm saying, came in. You know, I don't even know how long Breanna been in the league now. And she just recently, her and another WNBA star, they just created their own female version of the Big Three, which that was announced on Good Morning America. So I salute to Breanna Stewart on that. I'm not going to, get too much into that, but that's a good thing. More eyes on the WNBA. Well, not the NBA, but the female athletes. Then you had what? Who else you had? You had Swin that was, good. I mean, not back in her day when she came to the league, when Cheryl Swin was still in there, but there was nothing like the pizzazz when the league first started. I remember when the league first started. I was watching the WNBA when the league first started. I kind of started tuning out from it when after Tamika Catchings and Shamika Holtzclaw. I did started trying to watch a little bit more when Diamond Taurasi came in the league, because I like her. I like the Sue Bird. I like I think Becky Hammon was one of them back then, whatever the case may be. So they had stars in the league. But you got to think, when your main sponsor is the NBA, it's hard for you to gravitate out of that limelight. You see, the WNBA want to separate themselves from the NBA, but which they can't, because they need the NBA. The NBA is the catalyst that's holding the WNBA together. The WNBA can't stand on their own. So despite all that rhetoric, what these females are saying in the league, they want equal play, they want this, but guess what? Y'all not doing things that the men doing in the NBA. Y'all not out here, gliding from the free throw line, dunking. Y'all not making a highlight reel every night. Y'all shooting post up in this. What Caitlin Clark bringing to the league is what Steph Curry brought to the league in the NBA. 3-point shooting from a hell of a distance. There ain't nobody in the WNBA shooting that clip. Yeah, you might got females in there that could shoot 3-pointers, but you're not shooting from a unprecedented distance. Then she could pass the ball. She could run the floor. She wants to run. We don't see a lot of WNBA teams that run up and down the court. Run, like fast break, run, generate defense and points. Caitlin wants to bring that to her team. Unfortunately, her team is not as good as she would like it to be. But then you have a coach that's not even benefit her at that same notion. So I want to clip of Becky Hammon, and I want to get back into it in a few minutes because I think people are not paying attention to Becky Hammon enough. Because this ain't the first time she has made disparaging marks. And I'm
just got off the Zoom with Natasha Cloud, and she sort of went off the same way you two went off last week on the hate that everyone's trying to get the league to kind of spew toward Caitlin, but toward the parity that's going on, the competitiveness that we're seeing among the teams, top to bottom, the competitive play, and trying to change this narrative. And Tosh just kind of went off, and I'm curious your thoughts on just how great the league is from top to bottom. It's more than the Aces and the Liberty, and just the parity right now.
Well, I think there's a lot of good players in this league, and here's if you're just a recent follower of women's basketball, this has been brewing for a while. Women's basketball, it's been like at this boiling point, building, and our arena was sold out long before Caitlin was coming into the league. So I think women's basketball has just been on building. Now she's a part of the tipping point, right? She's coming in at this time where it was ready to tip over, and her presence has tipped some things over. But there's been a lot of good work going on behind the scenes to get us to this point by a lot of other people. And I think Caitlin is very gracious in mentioning those names too, and understanding the women that came before her to pave the way for this tipping point and this kind of great time to be a women's basketball player. But it's a great time because the product is great, and it's been great, and it's been building. And now that we have more eyes on it, freaking great. I think it's great for everybody. It's really hard to make a team anymore, and there's a lot of really great players. And I don't think it's just one super team. There's multiple teams with multiple all-stars across the league.
And that's the head coach, the defending champs. Boy, I tell you, okay.
But anyway, so what Becky Hammon was talking about was that she said that the league was already in a position to grow the way it needs to grow. And Caitlin Clark is just coming, the likes of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese just coming in at the point where the WNBA is getting going, which that's not the case. Because if you think about the viewership numbers and the TV rating numbers, even since the draft, there's only one person is making that happen. And they don't want to acknowledge what Caitlin Clark has bring. Even Angel Reese has benefited from Caitlin Clark. Her and Caitlin Clark is tied to the hip, no matter how you cut it. But don't make no mistakes. When you tune into a Caitlin Clark game, you want to see Caitlin Clark shoot the ball. You want to see her make passes. And damn sure you want to see her team win. None of these players in the league is generated. Yeah, Angel Reese is having a hell of a season as well. She lead the league in offensive rebounds. Cameron Brink leads the league in blocks. She's having a hell of a campaign. These women are doing something that none of these women have done. And I'm not knocking the talent that's in the WNBA, but they have not separated themselves. You know why? Because they whine, they complain, they bitch and moan all the time about something. You know, then you got part of them or the L community. Then you got some of them that don't try to support if you straight. They say, "Oh well, we welcome women of all." What's the girl name that just I just watched the video of? She played for the Mercury. She leads the league in assists. Cloud. She talking about the league was. She was talking about they was having, Brianna Stewart was trying to get all of these charter fights and all of this stuff for years and all of this stuff. Okay, yeah. Y'all was in a process of getting all of that stuff, but guess what? It just took somebody special to come in the league and say, "Hey, I'm important. I'm a rookie, and I'm the number one pick. I'm enigma coming in." So they had to push it because they want to make sure she was must-see TV. You think going into this year without her, Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, you think people would have been tuning into the league? Cameron Brink, Camila Cardozo wasn't getting drafted. If these four ladies wasn't getting drafted, you think the WNBA would have been tuned in as much as it was? Oh no. We ain't gonna sit here and fake like that shit was already there. Yeah, these women probably was doing things behind the scenes. That's fine. And viewership, people wants to follow their fans. You gotta think about this. Since the days of NIL had came along, and college players was getting paid for their name, name and likeness, name, image, and likeness, it has impact a way where fans had gravitate more to their player than ever before. And this is probably why another reason why the likes of a Diana Taurasi, a Brittany Griner, a Acho Wilson, Breonna Stewart, all of these girls are probably upset because the popularity that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Camila Cardozo are bringing, plus the social media phenomenons. Nobody I think bigger in social media than Angel Reese is. I think Caitlin Clark followers is just because she's just simply a baller. Look at Cameron Brink, tall, beautiful young lady, played at Stanford. You know what I'm saying? She still plays on the West Coast with the LA Sparks. She's still close to home. She's Steph Curry's goddaughter. So these women has appealed to them that the older generation now doesn't really have. Now, Asia Wilson, she's tall, beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But you look at some of these, you know what I'm saying? They dress like guys. And I hate to say it, that's not attracting. Nobody wants to see women look like guys. I'm sorry. They want to see women look beautiful. They want to see them look have some sex appeal to them, and and articulate. They don't want to sit here and watch them. When they show their clothes and they fit, they walking. Some of them looking like guys, and they got so much tattoos all over their body. That's not attractive. That's not gonna get you the endorsements that you got. Now, Angel Wilson, like I said, she's tall, she's beautiful. She body, she don't have stuff like, because if she did, she would have been less appealing. Let's be honest. Brittany Griner, less appealing. Diana Taurasi, appealing because even though she's a kind of a sex appeal about her, not for my taking, not for my liking. But if you look at Angel Reese, Camila Cardozo, you look at Cameron Brink again, you look at Caitlin Clark, these women have that kind of star power and sex appeal. And this is probably why it's in WNBA right now, because they feel threatened by that. But you could always change your name, image, and likeness to what you want to be more appealing to the masses, to the media. Everybody's pondering to this LGBTQT, whatever the community. They pander to that. And then they want to pander to the black and white racial issue all the time. They want to use that as the narrative all the time to just to dignify they just. You can't do that in sports. You can't do that. Even though it's there. Jackie Robinson went through it. You know what I'm saying? Hank Aaron went through it. You know, it just, and now that, you know, Major League just decided to put the Negro League records in Major League Baseball. They should have been did that. But again, back to my original story. This ain't the first time Becky Hammon had made disparaging comments about a player. You know, and sad that, you know, she's doing it to her own color. But you got to think, Becky Hammon is part of that L community. So straight and gay don't mix. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. So she made comments about a young lady, Deanna Hamby. She played for her, and Deanna got pregnant the second time. First time they kind of like, you know, showcase her daughter, and then I guess Deanna got pregnant again, and then they released her. You know what I'm saying? So that was the issue. So this ain't nothing new to Becky Hammon, because she might be a good coach, you know, and I think one of the reasons why she didn't get the job in the NBA, because when she was assistant coach under Popovich, because she was a female, and I don't think the guys was going to respect her. So she had to go to the WNBA, and she landed in a perfect spot. You know what I'm saying? She took shots of Jalen Brunson, saying that he was not a number one. He can't get the team to a thing. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to a clip where Cheryl Swoops was on here with Jordan Robinson talking about what girl named Deanna Hamby.
It was new, right? We navigate this. What do we do? But I go back to when I was pregnant, and my first thought is it never even entered, honestly, it never even entered my mind that the comments might want to move on for me because I'm pregnant. I don't think that's something that should ever enter a player's mind when she's in the process of whether it's negotiations or whatever. It's part of, if you are a female, if you are a woman, or if you're trying to have kids, and so to your point, Jordan, if we have a league that's supposed to be for us, for women, ran by women, and we're not protecting our own, who can we turn to? Yeah.
That's deep. And see, this is the thing, because I just feel at this I just feel like Becky Hammon, she just pondering to whatever is there. Now, I do want to bring another clip in with Swin Cash was talking about nobody's
Like
hating on
Caitlin
Caitlin Clark.
or this
Take a
thing
listen.
that the players are hating on Caitlin, which anyone that covers the league or is around players knows that is not true. But for you, someone who understands the life but is now removed, why do these things start to exist in the ecosphere of the W? It exists because it literally is a microcosm of our society right now. Because there are people who, because it's so polarizing around Caitlin Clark, who's a heck of a player, who is white. There's a narrative to try to create, which was even before Caitlin, of big black women, tattoos, too aggressive. If you've been between those lines on the court, they're very aggressive. Listen to me. There is nobody that's hating on Caitlin Clark. Those women want her to come and succeed, but they also want to bust her behind, as they should. When I came into the league and I was looking around and Cheryl Swoops was over there, I'm like, yeah, I got it. We'll go get her. When the attention is over there and you're trying to get to where that person is, you're gonna get there. When it's a rookie coming in, Caitlin's coming in and takes the
That's what it is. But we see what's going on in the W right now with, and I was listening to Black and White Sports, and they were saying that Jason Whitlock came out with a pretty interesting how let me see if I can pause this recording. All right, can y'all hear me? All right, can y'all hear me? All right, can y'all hear me? All right, can y'all? All right, can y'all hear me? All right, good. All right, so let me get back to where I was at before. I was trying to play a clip earlier, so let me see if I can play it real quick. Not that. I need to play the one
like
I was talking
Caitlin or this thing that the players are hating on Caitlin, which anyone that covers the league or is around players knows that is not true. But for you, someone who understands the life but is now removed, why do these things start to exist in the ecosphere of the W? It exists because it literally is a microcosm of our society right now. Because there are people who, because it's so polarizing around Caitlin Clark, who's a heck of a player, who is white. There's a narrative to try to create, which was even before Caitlin, of big black women, tattoos, too aggressive. If you've been between those lines on the court, they're very aggressive. Listen to me. There is nobody that's hating on Caitlin Clark. Those women want her to come and succeed, but they also want to bust her behind, as they should. When I came into the league and I was looking around and Cheryl Swoops was over there, I'm like, yeah, I got it. We'll go get her. When the attention is over there and you're trying to get to where that person is, you're gonna get there. When it's a rookie coming in, Caitlin's coming in and takes somebody's job. Oh, you about to get it. Let's go. And she's not the only one. Angel got knocked down a couple of times. Did y'all hear what she said? Oh, I got right back up. Okay, AT, I see you. Yeah. Like, we have to stop that. And we have to call it out. And shame on me for not calling it out sooner. Thank you for asking me the question, because obviously we're in the NBA right now and in a vicious cycle of our own. But it makes me sad that we're still in this place.
All right. See, this is the point I'm talking about, guys, is that they sit there and always coming out and say, oh, we love Caitlin Clark. Oh, we not hating on Caitlin Clark. But your actions say differently. Your actions say differently when it's about a player who has that magnitude. And like I alluded to earlier, it's about jealousy. It's about what these women are bringing to the league, popularity. You know what I'm saying? They fans, they have millions of fans, thousands of fans that's following them to these teams. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Caitlin, Angel, or Camilla, or Cameron Brink. If you had them kind of fans when you was in college and brought them to the WNBA would have been far along where they are. Because of this woke nonsense that they spewing into the WNBA, even Skylar Diggins went through it because she got pregnant and they tried to push her out and she came back and she's balling. So I understand Jason Whitlock's ready on it, you know what I'm saying, maybe 2 or 3 years, but I think Caitlin is going to be the one that breaks the cycle. And if she's able to break that cycle, a lot of people are going to look at her as that trailblazer of breaking through the monotony of wokeness, gay bias towards straight women, religion, preference, or color, whatever the case may be. If she could break that, everybody that's comes behind her, white or black, will say, you know what, Caitlin did this. I want to be like Caitlin. I'm coming to the league to be like Caitlin. They're not going to say, well, I'm coming in to be in the league to be like an Asia Wilson or Breonna Taylor Stewart or Diamond Taurasi. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, I want to be like Caitlin Clark, or I want to be like Angel Reese, or I want to be like Cam, or I want to be like Camilla. You know what I'm saying? This is why the WNBA is in the situation that they are now, because they do not take accountability for their own actions. And the WNBA commissioner needs to step up. If they had a commissioner like a David Stern, half of this shit that going on in the WNBA right now would not even be going on. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day when the WNBA first started, they had gay women in there, but it wasn't. The gay women was just a part of a fraternity with all women. They didn't try to use their power to be more than what they are. Because you gotta think of it: Teresa Witherspoon, Cynthia Cooper. You know what I'm saying? And there's probably more. You had Tamika Catchings that had like a speech pediment that I didn't even know about. And then you had Shamika Holdsclaw that came in there. So you got to think about this, man. When people start talking, just take their words at face value. Becky Hammon do not like Caitlin Clark. That's evident. I read somebody comment on Twitter and they hit it directly on the head. You know what they said? They said you could see the level of disdain of these players when talk about Caitlin Clark. They have a level of disdain about them where they feel like at the end of the day, we not getting talked about enough, but she is. They don't like Caitlin Clark. Point blank, period. Now, I'm gonna move on from that to finish up this video because I want to talk about viewership and the Caitlin Clark effect, because this goes to show why that they are pissed off. So Becky Hammon said that Caitlin Clark is part of, she's coming in as part, she's part of it, but she's not saying that, oh well, she's so, everybody's trying to deny Caitlin Clark ability. But guess what? If everybody watched this video, listen to what Emmanuel Acho had to say.
What I'm about to tell y'all, I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year. Okay, now let's not talk viewership, let's talk ticket sales. Bear with me. Ticket sales grew in 2023 by 16% from 2022. Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. What that means is without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where Caitlin Clark has gotten them today. Okay, we've talked ticket sales and we've talked viewership. Now let's talk about regular season viewership, not draft viewership. Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years. So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
Exactly. See, and this is a perfect example of the nonsense that Becky Hammon is spewing. Yes, the WNBA has been growing, but it has not taken off to the likes. And like he said, it will took them another 10 years to get where they at now. If it took 25 years to be in the league to get where you at now, if Caitlin Clark and all of the girls didn't come out the draft now, even if Juju is the only starter come out in 2 or 3 years later and you didn't have none of these girls that drafted this year, it wouldn't have been enough. It wouldn't have been enough. So embrace the new talent that's there now and say, hey, these girls brought something to the game that we didn't have the opportunity to bring to the game. If you embrace that instead of shunning them off or trying to play dirty with them in the game or talking negative, trying to have some negative stain about them when the media asks y'all questions about them, y'all will get along a whole lot better. There'll be a whole lot more opportunities for y'all. But the way y'all treating these, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, yeah. Also, and I do want to fault Angel Reese too because she's being part of the problem because her and Camilla sitting there said, we sell out stadiums too. No, boo-boo. Y'all not selling out stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Y'all games are not marquee. I go back to what they were saying about Jordan and Kobe. When ain't even Iverson, everybody want to see Iverson play. You know why? Because he had a hell of a crossover. He was small. He could get to the basket. Everybody want to see Steph Curry, even though Steph Curry is up there now. They want to see Steph Curry shoot the ball. He changed the game. Everybody wants to see Caitlin Clark because she's changing the game. It's not knocking the talent that's around her that drafted in the same draft with her because they're going to be linked together forever. But make no mistake about it, people. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. What she could do, rebound, assist, pass, block shots, and score at a high level, the only person in this draft that can probably do that is Cam Brink. Cam Brink can do that. Now, if Camilla or Angel work on the outside game, yeah, they could do that. But right now they can't. Because you got a player that can do everything on the floor. There ain't too many women in the WNBA can do the same things that Caitlin Clark can do. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all people. Even LeBron James said it. Now, yeah, Charles Barkley got backlash. I think his words could have been a little bit different. But don't sit there and say there ain't no hate on Caitlin Clark. There's envy, jealousy, definitely. And I'm going to play the LeBron clip again because I saved it into my stream just because I need people to remind people.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great. I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulder.
All right. So you heard that. Now, I just got some more information of this rookie class. And they just say this rookie class is about to be the most historic ones. And they broke down all three girls that I mentioned. Like LeBron said, don't get it effed up because this is where the rubber meets the road. Now, we're going to take a look, and I'm going to show you why Caitlin Clark's success is what it is today. So, following tonight's Fever Aces game, it averaged a 0.16 and 333,000 on NBA TV, the most watched NBA game ever on a network, which has been Nielsen's rating since 2010. Since 2010. And as one would reasonably expect it, given NBA TV is in a fewer homes than other networks. I don't think that NBA TV is in a fewer homes. It depends on what your TV package is. If you got YouTube TV, if you even got Spectrum, Charter, whatever you're using, Hulu TV, you're gonna have NBA TV on there. Pretty much, NBA TV comes with every channel. I doubt that. Just a lot of people don't watch NBA TV like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when the regular basketball season comes in. So, it was Clark's least watched game on Nielsen rating TV since her Iowa Hawkeyes days when she played against Rutgers on the Big Ten Network, and that was January. She only had 315. Okay, that's not bad. Still, while Clark impact on the ratings remains outsized. Say that again. While Clark's impact on the ratings remain outsized, the WNBA scored another viewership high last week without her. That's the first time that they did that, and that was on CBS when the Lynx and the Liberty played, because both of them pretty much good teams this year, playing really good basketball, and they averaged a 0.4, where they had 704,000, surpassing the Mercury's last season of 694, as the most watched WNBA game on the network. Just imagine this. Just imagine if CBS put the Indiana Fever later this year, probably a rematch with, I say, the Chicago Sky. What you think that's going to do? And not speaking, the ESPN are showing at 1 o'clock on Saturday that the Fever hosts the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. This goes back to college. Guess what's going to happen? They both 1-1 against each other. Reese beat her in the national championship game the year before, and Clark knocked her out of the tournament last year. And then she went on to face South Carolina and lost to Camila Cardozo, which Clark beat South Carolina last year. So she's 1-1 against them. So what you think that's going to make? Now, here's another part to this. If not the 7-figure audience that marked her first week in the league, Clark provided a notable boost to some of the WNBA's lowest profile broadcaster partners over the weekend. Last Friday, the Lynx and the Fever and the Sparks WNBA regular season game draw over a 0.46 rating with 7,240 viewers on ION, which that was ION's largest audience on the script on Netlit to carry this for games last season. So that means Caitlin Clark is having an impact on channels. So now you look at it, Liberty, the Lynx, they having one of the highest games on CBS. But what if them games was on different networks, not say CBS? Then they want to get it. So comparison, let's do it. By comparison, neither of ION's 2 previous games this season hit over 300,000. That's the Mystics and the Suns, because the Mystics are a bad team this year. They're not good. The Suns, they really not that good. Even though they got Brittany Griner out, but they still ain't a good team, period. They only draw over 290,000. 2,900, my bad. And then the Storm and the Lynx, which the Storm is a pretty good team. The Lynx are too. They was lower than them with 266. As for ION's other sports property in NWSL, the most watched match so far this season drew only 219. So I say to say this. We could say, the media, everybody, all these older women in WNBA could sit here and say, hey, Caitlin Clark is not having an impact here and there. That's bullshit. Here's another one. They just showed the Fever and Mystics, the Mystics and the Sun on ION, and then CBS, the NBA TV one. And then they don't even have the numbers from when the Fever played the Aces that weekend. Also, because that was a back-to-back. That was on Saturday. So they don't even have the viewership for that. And surely that number probably going to come out along with today's game come out. And plus, you had the Sparks and the Fever rematch a couple of nights ago. You know what I'm saying? So Amazon Prime numbers going to come in too, because people going to tune to Amazon Prime just to watch Caitlin Clark play. So Caitlin Clark is going to break records for the whole month. The whole month. Now, she has a stellar game tonight. She could probably be Rookie of the Month. So now, here we go. I have followed Basketball Reference on Twitter, on X. Now, they had added a new page to their reference showcase the rookies this year. So check this out. Caitlin Clark in 3-point field goals this season. This season, she's 3-point field goals per game. She's averaging 2.6. Just imagine if she was making half of the 3-pointers that she was making this season, she would have actually been probably hitting at 4. And that would have been all time. Ruth Bolton, she played 23 games. She was 30. She played for Sacramento. She was averaging 2.9. Caitlin's second on that list right now with 2.6 in 8 games so far. Reen Howard In 2022, she was shooting at 2.5. Cynthia Cooper back in 97 was shooting threes at 2.4. Tamika Catchings, 2.4 in 2002. Julie Vandal, 2.1. Kelsey Mitchell for Indiana in 2018 was shooting 2.1. So she's out shooting Kelsey Mitchell at this point because Kelsey Mitchell don't really take that many. Guess who's on that list at number 10? Diana Taurasi, 1.8, 2004. Michelle Timms, remember Michelle Timms? She was 1.8. Sue Bird, 1.8. Anika Oliveri, 1.7. Betty Lennox, Maya Moore. She's outpacing all of them. And before this year over, she's going to be probably number one on that list for the season. Now, then you got Angel Reese in rebounds. She's 7th right now. Tina Charles is, she was averaging 11.7 rebounds back in 2010. Now, Angel Reese is at 8.7. Now, if she continues to up her rebound game, she could be number one in that list, break that record. You know what I'm saying? You had Shamika Holzclaw in there. You got Natasha Smith from Indiana. She was 7.9. Margot Deep. Remember her? Angel Wilson on there at 12 for 2008. Damn, Angel Wilson been in the league 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So she's been in the league 7 years. Acho Wilson been in the league 7 years. So she's about to be done soon. But she was averaging 8.1. Breonna Stewart was averaging 9.3 in 2016. Lisa Leslie, 9.5 in 97. Cheryl Ford, 10.4. You know what I'm saying? Aaliyah Boston, last year, she was averaging 8.4. Wendy Palmer. So, I mean, Angel Reese is out rebounding Angel Wilson, what she did in 1 year. Now, I don't know what Angel Wilson doing now, but that's what it is. But she's in a hell of a class. Then you got Cameron Brink. She's right now having, in 6 games, she averaging 3-point blocks a game. She's a block machine. She's on pace to go up on that a little bit more. Candace Parker was 2.3. Brittany Griner she's tied with Brittany Griner at number 2 right now. So the notable names on that list: Rebecca Lobo, Tina Charles, Kyle Stokes, Breonna Stewart, Laura Jackson, all of that. And so I'm saying this to say this, people. Come on. What are we doing? What are we really doing right here? Let's stop acting like Caitlin Clark ain't doing what she's doing, man. Let's stop acting like Caitlin Clark ain't really about the numbers. Let's stop acting like Caitlin Clark ain't moving the numbers. It's evident. You could sit here and say, oh, well, you can sugarcoat it, well, she ain't doing this or she ain't doing that or whatever the case may be. That's all fine and good. But like Mike Will, even you got Jamel Hill and coming out now trying to sing Caitlin Clark's praise. Stop making this about a black and white issue because it's not. I mean, it is to y'all, but to me, it's not. It's about talent. When a person in the game is better than you or just as good as you, you got to recognize that. I said this to say that. If Caitlin Clark get the running mates that she need on that team, I don't think there's going to be a team in the league that can beat her. I'm sorry. And that goes for Audrey Wilson, how long she plays in the game. If she gets the talent, the running mates around her, like how Jordan ended up getting, she's going to dominate the league. She's probably going to win multiple championships. She's probably going to win the most championships. She's going to do things that is going to be unprecedented, and they ain't going to like it. So whether you on the train or not, and you don't have to be a Caitlin Clark fan to understand the movement. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a fan, but the girl is good, and stop acting like she's not. So that's all I got to say. I'm getting ready for this game tonight between her and the Seattle Storm. Should be a really good game. They was close the first time. They lost by 2 to them. Swin cashed them just coming off a game where they actually beat the Chicago Sky. But unfortunate news, Erica Willis out. I'm glad she's out. You know, for personal reasons. I hope, you know, everything's good in her life, you know, her family and everything. Timmy back I can't pronounce her name so hard. Timmy Fagbell. She's out also with a foot injury and probably gonna be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks, and she might not come back. So that means Christy Sides has just inserted Eliza Smith back into the game, so she'll be starting. Probably along with, I don't know who the first person, and probably gonna be Samuelson. You know, she's probably gonna start. But I hope that when Clark comes on the floor, she has, you know, somebody like Celeste Taylor and Grace Berger, you know, and Lexi Hall. I do want to see the backup center she plays in, because she probably gonna end up playing because Blossom gonna have to go out. And I forgot her name. She's from Brazil. I watched highlights of her last night. The girl is cold, man. She could hit threes, and she could stretch that threes out. That's what I was saying. If she could really come in the game right now while Timmy is out and add that inside outside presence, especially if Naza Smith struggles tonight and get in foul trouble, you're gonna have to put her in. Yeah, there's no way around. You can't put her in, and that's probably what's going to show. See, Christy Sides don't know how to use her talent on the floor. I'm sorry, because Grace Berger could score. She's really a scorer. She can pass the ball. If you put some people out there to run with Caitlin Clark, a lot of great things going to happen. So we'll see how it plays out, man. Because Samuelson's so slow. She doesn't space the floor. Caitlin be looking to push, and now she don't have Timmy. She can't push the ball like she wants to. Now the only person she probably rely on is Lexi Hall, because Lexi will pass, but Mitchell is going. She's gonna try to take over the game, and she just irritates my soul. But anyway, I didn't meant for this to be a real long video, but I had to get some things out because it's just been brewing for the last few days, and I'm just tired of the narrative, the whole situation. I think Becky Hammon needs to stop talking. Just point blank. Just say, hey, Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player. I look forward to playing against her. I think she brings something different to the game. That's all you got to say. You don't have to sit there and scream and, oh, it's not about black and white, stop the racism stuff. But y'all the ones continue to address, y'all the ones keep bringing it up. If Acho Wilson never say nothing and whine about her getting a shoe deal, and people capping for her, say, oh, she had this in the worst a year ago. It don't take a fucking year just to do a shoe deal if you sign with Nike. Caitlin Clark just came out this year and got a shoe deal like that with Nike. Now, wherever the shoes they designing for her probably won't come out till next year. You know what I'm saying? Because she's wearing Kobe shoes right now. So her new shoe line probably won't come out till next year with Nike. But she signs with Nike. So Acho Wilson been in the league 7 years. 7 years so far. What the hell is that in the background? She's been in the league 7 years. And just getting a shoe deal? Come on, man. Who we kidding? You've been in the league for almost 8-9 years now. and you just getting a shoe deal. Hell, Angel Reese got a shoe deal with Shaq with Reebok. The girl that played with her last year, she didn't make the team. She the little point guard, she got a shoe deal with N1. N1 was the first to ever have a woman on a shoe deal with a woman. So come on. We like Pope, to be frank, he said this. Y'all act like we don't have computers. Y'all act like we don't have phones, like we don't research this stuff. We know cat when we smell cat. Stop acting like y'all really doing this, man. Y'all not really doing this. Because if it take you 7 years to get a shoe deal and say, oh, it's been in the works for over a year, well, what the hell? What was taking so long? What was you doing? Oh, I'm developing stuff. Like these charter flights. Oh, they've been in the works for years. But guess what? Y'all didn't get them to now. That's just like slavery. And Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Susan B. Anthony, Harriet Tubman, all of them. If they paved the way for black folks, and all of a sudden if they were still alive, and we came along, and they start hating on us, talking about, well, we did this before they did. We was marching before they ever started marching. They ain't doing nothing special than we did. How would you think these young generations will feel towards them saying stuff like that? Because guess what? When Michael Jordan came in the league, nobody was doing what Michael Jordan was doing. His accolades, his resume speaks for itself. What Caitlin Clark did in the NCAA, she broke 4 scorers record. Few of them in the WNBA. One is her teammate. All right. You know what to do at the end of this video or at the beginning of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. Like, again, I didn't mean to go almost an hour with this video, but I had a lot to get off my chest, man, because I'm tired of seeing Becky Hammon face. I'm tired of seeing Acho Wilson face. They just need to talk about basketball, their game. Don't talk about nothing about racism. Don't talk about nothing about Caitlin Clark. Just keep pushing, man. Because at the end of the day, y'all getting ridiculous. And people calling y'all out for it. But enjoy the game tonight. I'll be back post-game, dropping a little video, going over what I see, what I like, what I don't like, critique, criticism, all that good stuff. Until then, it's your boy, Livewire Sports Media. Go Fever.